The year is 1991. Birds and people are living together in seemingly perfect harmony, until one day a young man catches fire. This is Phoenix.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Game Week 6 deadline stream. Wildcard is active. I've got no real clue where I'm going to land. Raya has put like a massive spanner in the works now, where I'm probably just going to have to go for Flecken. I'm almost certainly not going to have Edison. Those few players are covered because I'm not sure where I'm going to land yet. I don't even know if I'm going to have Mikolenko or Greaves either. It's an absolute nightmare, to be honest with you. I think the most likely, just to say it right now, I think the most likely players they will be Flecken, Trent. I don't even know. Saliba, I guess. Eze, Solanke. Maybe Porro, Havertz. I might end up on Havertz after all that. All week I've spent saying double defence. I may end up on Havertz and just move him to Solanke in game week 8. And then get double Arsenal defence later on in game week 12. But then I could just keep Saliba the whole way through. Honestly, I don't know where I'm going to land. It's going to be it feels like one of the worst wildcards for ages. And to make it worse, my non-wildcard team is probably fine. I didn't need to get Salah last week. I didn't need to wildcard. My son has had me up since 6. I've been up since 6 as well. I'm tired. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm probably not hydrated enough. It's not a good start to the day. But I did walk my dog, so that was good. Solanke is must-have. Disagree. Like, he's pretty good, but I wouldn't say must-have. Not a good look hiding the picks, just right undecided. Yeah, again, I'm not going to go through this. We go through this every stream. The thing is, if I leave the picks uncovered, I'll get so many questions about why am I going for this player, and I might not be going for that player. So, like, whatever. Imagine if Raya starts today. I still think the most likely outcome is that he starts. But there's just not enough info to go on right now. You have Jackson. I don't have Jackson. In fact, I've sold Jackson. I can tell you now 100% I do not have Jackson. Just make us out a promise to not ask questions. I mean, questions are good, right? But, like, there's no point in spending the whole stream talking about why have I got this one player, which I may not have by the deadline. Would I rather go for Raya or rotate with 2 4.5s? I'd rather have Raya, I think. Give the 2 people who got 10 predictions on Sleeper a jersey each. Yeah, but the thing is, if I do that, I've got to do it every other time it happens. And there might be a time where there might be like 5, 6, 7 winners that get 10. It's ruthless, the Sleeper game. Aditya, I pronounced that wrong. I apologise, new member. Thank you very much. On a wildcard and don't have any Liverpool attack, will I regret this? Possibly. The thing for me is, I don't know, maybe I'm just looking at it wrong, but if Liverpool players don't absolutely smash it today, then I suddenly look at Palace away, Chelsea at home, Arsenal away, and I think, am I that bothered about having them that much? Again, I think Diaz is a good pick, but I don't see me ending up with him. I think it's more likely that I have Bruno or Eze. I think that's the two players. Also, just like Nick, thank you very much. G-Wiz got it. Wow, that's kind of cool. G-Wiz has been around for freaking ages. The other thing with price changes is it's just like, so I've made 0.1 million on Diaz and Jackson. They both went up twice. Which is great, but I had Porro at 5.5. I sold him hoping that he would drop to fund Saka in. Porro hasn't dropped, but he's still very close. So if I put Porro in now at 5.6 and he drops, I've straight away lost 0.1 million. Bruno and Eze are also very close to drops. I could go for Bowen. He's also very close to a drop. So there's a chance that I'm going to wildcard and instantly lose like 0.2 million, which is not the be-all and end-all if I think they'll go back up in price. But it's not ideal. It's not ideal. Savio, let's punt. Yeah, I don't mind it. Jerry, new member, thank you. Can we have one Man City defender for this week? You can if you want, yeah. Although, I would say that I don't think Newcastle away is like an amazing game, but apparently Isak is missing out. So if Isak misses out, that makes Newcastle weaker, right? Is Greaves locked in for you? No. But if I go 4 million, it will be him. My anti-Haaland gamble has failed, and I've paid 4 points to restore him with Onana for Saka and Isak. You got rid of Saka before Leicester at home. Can you recommend any good differentials for next week? Next week, I'm trying to lock in a wild card for game week 6, and we've got to talk about game week 7. I've not even thought about it. I don't know off the top of my head. Martinelli versus Southampton. But I also just wouldn't. Savio against Fulham. I just wouldn't worry about differentials. I don't watch you if you cover your deadline. I love that. I don't watch you if you cover your deadline. Well, thanks for watching me to tell me that. Appreciate it. That's amazing. Thank you. I guess I'll see you next week, maybe. Saka is consistently returning. Yeah, Saka is pretty great. Does playing with zero keeper for 1 week matter? Probably 2 points lost. Like if you're on wildcard, I think it's crazy to not have a goalkeeper. Sam FPL confirming Raya is not with the squad. Who is Sam FPL? Are people sleeping on Sells? I think Forest defense is pretty good. Need to start 2. Lewis, Pau Torres, Greaves, Minter. Well, if Rico Lewis is leaked to start, I guess him and Pau Torres probably. Like, will Minter start? He missed out last week. I guess he could come in. I don't know. Someone said that Thingy's not with the squad, but like he wasn't spotted at the hotel last night, Raya, by the way. Do I transfer in Burmo for Jota or Madueke? What's the chances of Jota start? I think Jota will probably start, so I'd probably sell Madueke. But Jota's probably also got to go longer term. What players? 2 players do I start? Wood, Semenyo, and Rodgers. I'd probably bench Rodgers, even though it's not that fun, to be honest with you. Why Flecken and not Edison? He's 1 million cheaper, I guess. Helps. Allison is the best Raya replacement. Disagree. I did see that like Raya is not at the hotel. And I thought, I wonder if Arteta's just got him at a different hotel. What do you think of McNeil? I like him. Decent price. Nowhere we're keeping a clean sheet at St. James's Park, but it could possibly... it sounds like there's no Isak. Edison is better. I mean, Edison is better than Flecken, but he's also 1 million more, right? And so, like, if I've got Raya and a 4.5, I need to find money to get a third Arsenal player in. I mean, the thought even crossed my mind this morning, do I actually need 3 Arsenal? But then, what a mess I've got myself into if I'm wildcarding without 3 Arsenal, right? It'd be nuts, I think. Cheers, James. Thank you, Chemo. New member. Tough one, but Solanke and Aina or Wood and Porro on wildcard. I think Wood and Porro is probably better. Surely you take a 0 for Raya, or you put a 4.5 goalkeeper and keep the money to get Raya. Yeah, but then you're not going with 3 Arsenal, right? Which seems weird. And you're also booking in a transfer. Is Sabio an option? Yes, I think he started every game when fit, pretty much. Cheers. Yeah, great week of content. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. I mean, I'm happy to show you the drafts that I'm considering. Like, it's not like this... I don't know, we go through this every time. There's always the people that just moan constantly about the deadline reveal stuff, and it's just so tedious. Like, it's going to be Raya or Flecken, Trent or Saliba, maybe Lewis, Bruno or Eze, Solanke or Havertz. That's it. I mean, I can show you. It's Diaz there, but it won't be Diaz by the deadline because I haven't sold him yet because I've got 0.1 million wrapped up in him. Like, it's really not that interesting. Who's the sub goalkeeper? It's Fabianski, but if I go for Flecken, it might be Valdemarson. No one is talking about Wolves being hit by a virus. Yeah, they could be playing a second string squad, lots of young players. Like, it's not fun going without Liverpool players or Liverpool attackers, to be honest. Do you think you'd still have Smith Rowe in your team if you didn't sell him after you activated your wildcard? I don't think so, but I guess it would be more likely if I hadn't sold him. But I don't think so. So I quite like the punt on Semenyo with the fixtures they've got. Yeah, I don't know if I can go for Bruno. The thing is, if I go for him, he's going to drop in price. So straight away, I might not have any points, and he's going to drop in price again. So it's a bit of a killer. I just don't... I'm going to bet against Diaz, I think. I mean, I might end up with him. But I'm not sure. I'll tell you what, actually. Let me... I mean, I can just... I saved loads of drafts last night. I just wonder if I can quickly... I'll just show you the drafts. It might be easier. How do I save? Oh, yeah. Hang on. Let me just create a new folder. A second. Wildcard drafts. I'm just going to call them draft 1. Like, honestly, there's so many. Like, it's like Lewis, no Lewis, Raya, no Raya. It's like, it's an absolute nightmare. Is that number 2 or number 3? Oh god, no, I'm lost. 1, 2, 3. I think I've got about 9 drafts in total. Let me just save them here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh my god, there's too many, honestly. I've got them saved on Discord. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There must be an easy way. Okay, there's only 2 more. 7. 7. The thing is, right, I'm just telling you now that I've got 8 drafts now. I'm happy to show you all of them. I might not end up on any of them. I like, that's how, like, out of, I don't know. That's how unsure I am. Should I take a hit for Haaland, or should I drop Isak for Solanke or Vardy for Solanke? Also, should I activate my wildcard for this week or next? I can't tell you whether to activate your wildcard or next. I do not know what your team is. I wouldn't put your team in, though. If you want Haaland, you should take a hit. I don't know who you're selling. Dropping Isak seems pretty good to me. Diaz for 2 weeks, then swap to Maddison. Yeah, that could work. But Diaz is more expensive, so you're taking money out of elsewhere. That's another problem that I'm having, slightly. Palmer, Haaland, Salah captain. Haaland or Salah for me. I'd probably go Haaland. Is it too rogue to go Maddison and Jackson and wildcard? No, I think they're both good picks. Isolation short term, do you prefer Diaz or Palmer? Palmer. But he's more money, right? It's like he's more nailed. The minutes are probably better. He's on penalties, so I'm always going to say Palmer, but he's more money. Should I take a -4 to remove Menez? If yes, for who? If I go Vardy, I can do Diaz to Saliba next week. You got 6.2 million. I'd go for Chris Wood. Should you take a -4? It depends who else you're going to have to play. Basically. Madison will be in loads of teams. Yeah, possibly. Okay, let me just bring these. Okay, wildcards. So if I just do that, then I go browse. Okay. So like this is one wildcard. Okay, we can just do this. It's fine. So this is one wildcard draft. This is a Raya draft still. So I guess there's no point in looking at them anymore. Which is more valuable? Points from a goalkeeper this week or an extra transfer? So I would get a goalkeeper. You can always get Arsenal defence later on, Xander. I wouldn't, like, if you're wildcard, like, if you've got Raya and you don't want to make a transfer, fair enough. If you're on wildcard, I think it's mad to go without a goalkeeper. Surprised how unpopular Watkins is. He's just expensive, that's all. So this is Raya with Fernandes and then no Trent. So I guess Solanke, Fernandes and Trent is like a big dilemma. Another draft is this one. So this is, again, Fernandes and Havertz. So I'm looking at possibly two. I actually quite like this now I'm looking at it. But again, it's got no Trent. So this is Flecken with Havertz instead of double Arsenal defence and no Trent. I think there's two things I'm struggling with, right? Even though I've put 4 fingers up. I really don't like pre-booking too many transfers. So with this draft, Havertz to Solanke is already a transfer. And then it's like, how do I... And then potentially later on, game week 12, although that's 6 game weeks away, so I probably shouldn't worry that much. It's like trying to get an Arsenal defender back in. And then how do I get Fernandes? And the other thing is, like, so much of this wildcard just feels final, even though it's not. So, like, let's say I go with this, and I want to get Trent in for Vardiol. Well, I've got to free up 1.2 million, because Trent's gone up in my team. Trent's gone up to 7.1. He's probably not going to drop. And so I could say, well, I've got Havertz, I've got Fernandes. I could just downgrade them to get Trent back, but I won't want to do that. If Fernandes stays in my wildcard draft, he's not going to go until like game week 14 because Man United's fixtures are good. So every week I'll be telling myself, well, I might as well just keep him. So I think getting rid of Trent's not great. But again, if Trent blanks against Wolves, if then Palace away, Chelsea at home, Arsenal away, then they've got to play like Brighton and Villa, who are both good attacking teams. So like, how many clean sheets are there really for Liverpool? So that's one consideration. Anyway, let's move on to draft number 3, which is this one. So this is like a more standard draft. It's still with no Trent, by the way. So that is something I'm thinking about. Saliba and Gabriel double up, Solanke. So it's not exactly the same money, but Solanke and Saliba is a similar price to Porro and Havertz. So although in this one I've got Porro as well, so I guess it doesn't matter. This is what I mean. Like I've gone through so many drafts, I don't even know where I'm at right now. And I think I wouldn't go for Pinnock though. I'd go for Colwell because I wouldn't want double Brentford defence. It's why Raya needs to be fit, honestly. Wildcard 4 is another Raya draft, which I guess, again, are pretty pointless at the moment. But that is... So this is the one, if Raya was fit, that I think I'm closest to. This is the one, if Raya's fit, I think I'm close to something like this. Dropping Bruno to Eze lets me have Solanke. It lets me keep Trent. Double Arsenal defence. I've got Porro for game week 8 onwards. Pinnock is really nice the next few weeks. Yeah. So something like this is probably where I'm at if Raya stays fit, which he won't. Sorry, if Raya is fit, which he's not. Or then you've got like the Rico Lewis variant of that. So we'll just skip over that one. That's boring. Number 6 is another Flecken draft with Eze and just double Arsenal defence with Trent and Porro. And by the way, this one says minus 0.1, but I can afford that draft now because Jackson's gone up in price. So I can afford that. That one looks quite nice, I reckon. I just wish that I could afford Mikalenko instead of Greaves. That's all. Why Flecken over Sales? Just fixtures, really. Although Forest aren't bad. Flecken's absolutely nailed, though. Could Sales at some point lose his place? Probably not, but you never know. Possibly. Anyway, Super Chat's going to be a nightmare today. I'm going to get so distracted. Should I take a -8 to get the team I want or use the wildcard? I would wildcard. I am wildcarding. Should I go Raya and Van Dijk and Lewis or Fleck and Saliba and Vardio? Or Fleck and Trent and Lewis. Fleck and Saliba and Vardio is the most secure one, I would say. But Fleck and Trent and Lewis if you don't want to drop Trent. With current info, I don't think we can go for Raya. Other defenders are Gabriel, Mikolenko, Greaves. I already got Saka. Nice. Look, like you heard of Isak start. Apparently he's not starting. I've seen that from 2 different places now. They might have the same source. I don't know. But looks like he's probably not playing. Anyway, this is quite a nice draft, I think. It's quite a nice draft. And like, I know that like in game week 9, Arsenal are playing against Liverpool, but most weeks you're just not going to be worried about playing Arsenal defenders or Trent, I guess. I don't even know what draft that is. Is it number 6? This is number 7. This is draft 7. Again, a no Bruno, Eze instead, Havertz up front, and then Havertz to Solanke in 8. And you've got Vardio in there instead, and 0.7 in the bank. Which I could just spend right now, but I probably just wouldn't. Aaron, new member, thank you. I think, I like Havertz. Havertz is fine. I got no interest in Welbeck, to be honest with you. Like, he's not a bad pick, but I'm definitely going to target the fixtures with Calvert-Lewin. So there's this draft, and then there's this one. I can't even remember what my drafts are. This one's basically the same as the last one, but instead of... Let me just double check. Instead of Vardio... Yeah, so instead of Vardio, it's Rico Lewis, and then it's Porro instead of Greaves. I mean, again, if Lewis starts, that's quite nice. Or even this one with, like, a 4.5 million defender would be good too. I'm just going to play Raya, and if he doesn't start, then I'll have Ramsdale off the bench. Yeah, if you've got a sub-keeper, that's not so bad. Yeah, I wouldn't be worried about Raya. He's not going to be out long-term, doesn't sound like. Tempted to captain Saka over Haaland, thoughts? Yeah, good differential. If you're willing to bet against the crowd, nothing wrong with that at all. I would definitely be going Haaland, but Saka is certainly a consideration. Anyway, that's all the wildcard drafts, and the one I end up on might not be any of them. So, I don't know. But I can say, yeah, I'll as I'm playing around with it, I'll just screenshot them and put them up. Is Luis Diaz a viable punt for captaincy? I just wouldn't go there. I think Haaland, Saka and Salah, you've probably got at least one of them. I think they're all better. Like, Diaz might only play 70 minutes again. Moro, thank you. Trent, Martinelli, Solanke or Porro, Saka would. Porro, Saka would. I think Martinelli's an alright punt, by the way, but I think I prefer Porro, Saka would. Yeah, lots of people getting rid of Trent. It's difficult. I can see why people are doing it. I can see why you have Havertz, but he's a transfer waiting to happen. But that would be pre-booking a transfer in game week 8. Havertz to Solanke. If you go Havertz, do you need Saka? No, but I just think Saka's good. Robinson, Greaves, or Porro to play this week? Probably just Porro. Game week 6 wildcard. Flecken, Saliba, Gabriel, Robertson. Yeah, Robertson instead of Trent's another option too. Salah, Saka, Semenyo, Rodgers, Haaland, Wood, Raul Jimenez. Subs, Valdemars and Winks, Fast, Greaves. I mean, personally, this is the problem I have with Salah. I think the 11 looks great. The bench looks dodgy as. So like, I would drop either Saka or Salah, but I don't hate it. I just don't like the bench. Is Konate the best option for Liverpool defence? No, I don't think this is a great time. This is the thing that's like I'm in 2 minds with over Trent, right? So someone asked me about Konate. My first thought is how many clean sheets are they really going to get? So is he worth it? And I know that Trent's got attacking potential as well. I get that. But like as soon as I see Konate, I think I don't know how many clean sheets they're really getting over the next 6 to 7 weeks. So then why do I need Trent? Why do I need Trent? And then why do I need Bruno Fernandes? I don't think I do. I'm not looking forward to locking this in at all. I would love some Raya news. I would love someone just to say Raya is starting. Would you bench Colwill? Depends who else I had. Rodgers on the bench is mental. I mean, not really when you look at the rest of the players. I mean, I love how opinions change so much. Like, Rodgers was like a must-sell a few weeks ago. Now it's like you cannot bench him no matter what. Understand the Liverpool defence is really good now. The Liverpool defence is good, but this is the problem again. Like, we don't have enough data to say that that Liverpool defence is now amazing. They probably are the third best defence in the league, but are they close to City and Arsenal? I'm not so sure. And yes, the numbers are great so far, but so have the fixtures been. The fixtures have been amazing. I agree, though. It is looking good for Liverpool defence in general. Hello, this is David Raya. I've retired. Nightmare. Must have been a really bad limp after Man City. Would you start Calvert-Lewin or Wood? Probably Chris Wood. Jack, thank you. Yeah, I think Wood probably got a slightly easier fixture, maybe. If you don't have Salah in your wild card, you'll regret it. Probably not. Is Muric a good backup for Raya this week? I wouldn't bring Muric in against Villa, I don't think. Raya is a great alternative. Saliba is a great alternative to Raya, yeah. How confident am I that Vandenberg starts in the back four? I'm not. I wouldn't be confident whatsoever. I would say it's almost certainly Pinnock and Collins that will start in the back four. Flecken and Watkins or Edison and Havertz? Flecken and Havertz? And then spend the money elsewhere, maybe? Edison and Havertz? Surprised Chelsea assets are not more popular. I mean, most of them are minutes risks. Jackson's fine, but I think long-term Solanke is better, and I think Havertz is probably better than Jackson short-term as well. Then Palmer's quite expensive. Sanchez is a bit more money than Flecken. Colwell, don't mind. That's about it, though. Is Trent Alexander-Arnold a must-have still? No. What's more important, the fact that Luis Diaz has scored a bunch of goals or that he only seems to get 70 minutes? I mean, what's important is what you think going forward. Really? Like, Luis Diaz stats are pretty decent, to be honest with you. Per 90, they're good. Even if you factor in that he only plays 70, he still generated a ton of XG in the minutes. Would he keep that up? I mean, Slot himself said they've had good fixtures. Again, like, Luis Diaz is one of those players that if I don't include him, people will think I think he's a bad pick. I don't. I think he's a good pick. I just probably going to back against him. And if it goes wrong, it goes wrong. Like, not everything FPL is going to work out. Lewis or Vardio and well, Vardio is safer than Lewis. Depends if you want to spend the money. Havertz or Solanke. Havertz is probably better next to, then I prefer Solanke. So it depends how many transfers and stuff you want to book. I have Flecken, Gabriel, Trent. Do I go Colwell or Lewis? Or keep Colwell for 6-7, and if Lewis is getting minutes, transfer him in. Oh, like, you're either going for Lewis or not. You're not transferring him in. So if you think you might want him, I would just put him in. We might get info later on because it is the early kickoff. Would you take the 0 risk on Raya if not on wildcard? Maybe. Maybe. You'll definitely regret no Trent more than having Trent and he flops. Not so sure about that. If you had Jota and weren't wildcarding, would you keep us? I'd probably keep him. I think there's a good chance he starts. It's not guaranteed, though. And again, this is the problem with players like that, right? But I think he will start. So I think you're good. Beginning to think that Lewis can outscore Trent over the next 6. I think that's a bit of... I think that's a little bit ambitious, I've got to be honest. Buying Neto with a -4 in case Raya doesn't start, I would gain +2 of clean sheet. I wouldn't do that. I think. If he doesn't clean sheet, you just lost 2 points and you've put more money into your squad. Best goalkeeper after Raya, Edison, probably. Depends how long term you're thinking, I suppose. I mean, Edison until game week 11 and then Raya back in 12 works. Thoughts on Aina and wildcard? I think Aina's sort of nailed, but I don't know if you can say he's not like a Fernandez Salah type, I don't think. Milenkovic might be just as nailed. maybe even a little bit more. I've doubled up on Chelsea keepers on wildcard as it stands. Then Raya and a 4.4 million. Is that madness? I mean, Sanchez is clear number one. I probably wouldn't spend the extra. Like, the other goalkeepers are 4.5, aren't they? So you basically spent 9 million on Chelsea rather than 9.5 on Arsenal. Doesn't sound great. I would just go Sanchez and a 4 if it was me. Is free hit worth it? Have Raya, Pedro, Strand, Larson? Probably not, I would say. If you'd start Wood over Calvert-Lewin, then why Calvert-Lewin? Because we're not just playing one game week. Like, there's more weeks after this one. I feel Rodgers would do better than Semenyo. Thoughts? Possibly, but honestly, if you're wildcarding with Semenyo and you're benching him against Southampton, I would say there's no point in having him. Aina rotates well with Mikalenko or even Kirkes. Thoughts on Bournemouth defence? I think Bournemouth pretty good team overall. The thing is, Mikalenko can just be played quite a lot in the near term, so I'd almost go for like a longer term defender possibly. I don't mind Aina though. Did you see the Forest training pictures where someone who looks like Aina is on crutches? I saw that, but there's been literally nothing come out about that. And like the resolution of the picture is so bad. I appreciate that Aina's got a pretty unique hairstyle, but still, I don't know. I like, you'd think if someone was on crutches and done something serious, you'd have heard about it. Still haven't used my wildcard. What game would you think I should? It depends on your team. 8, 12 people will be looking at. Probably the next big windows. Not likely to be as big as 6, but I think there'll be a lot of people on them. Mazraoui's getting overlooked. Toughest fixtures, but is offensively better. Very good value. Yeah, I don't mind him. Little bit of a worry when Shaw is back, possibly. Assume Raya starts. Which one's the better combination? Probably the one with Raya. Flecken, Mikalenko and Havertz, or Raya, Vandenberg and Jackson? Well, actually, I'd probably go the Flecken route. If you're going to give team news, I'm going to need a source. Like, forgive me, but I'm not just going to trust random people in YouTube chat unless you got a source. Deadline reveal on striker is definitely... I can tell you now, 100% I will not have Jackson in my team. There is no way he will make my wildcard draft. Like, even less so than Diaz. Will I go Rico Lewis if leaked? Probably. And then I'll regret it straight away. I've got less interest in Duran than I have in Jackson, to be honest with you. Like, I don't say this very often, but I think it's mental that Duran's gone up twice in price. I can't believe people are buying him. He's not even starting. Start Porro or Konza? I'd probably start... Probably Konza? Why is Watkins being so overlooked? It's just money, really. I need to do my draft. I need to do my own draft. I'm going to... Do you know, oh my god, there's so many options, and do you know what the other problem is? I've not even considered what all my future moves might be like. Which is not a massive problem, but I like to know where I'm going with moves. Can you expand more on Jackson, please? Like, why I don't want him? Well, he's more expensive than Solanke, and I think from 8 onwards, Solanke. Like, if people looked at Chelsea's fixtures out of interest, like I to be fair, like 3 of the next 4 are not that bad. Like they're all home games, but in the up from now until game week 11, they've got to play Liverpool away and Arsenal at home, which is not great. Man United away, probably not that bad. 3 home games, like he's fine, but I just think Solanke's got better fixtures longer term, and I like Havertz for the next 2. That's it. So Jackson just doesn't fit in very well. Like if you want to go for Jackson, you should. He's a good pick. He's just not for me. Just because I'm not going for him shouldn't stop you. Just look at the comments every week about how terrible my picks are. And so if I'm saying don't go for Jackson, you should go for Jackson. Saka and Burma or Palmer captain. Saka for me. Saka for me. Although Palmer's not bad. With vague doubt about Aina, would you risk starting Nico, start Dunk, or take a -4? I guess I would probably just... Who have Brighton got? They've gone away. Oh, Chelsea, in it. You got Nico Williams. I guess I would start I wouldn't take a -4, I don't think. Not for Newcastle away. AZ, how's it going? I need Raya info. Don't we all? Don't we all? Seeing Fabianski on your bench, I can only guess you have Raya. No, I think, well, it's Raya right now, but it could, like, it's just Raya, but it could be Flecken by the deadline. Victor, I put a bet you have Havertz, Diaz, Porro, Vardy, or Lewis. Best of luck. Thank you for your hard work. Yeah, but the thing is, I wouldn't really bet on who I've got right now. It's who I've got by the deadline. That's the whole point. I don't like Calvert-Lewin or Wood. I've gone Watkins, Solanke, Haaland. I'm happy with my team. It's basically losing Diaz for Dibbling. Yeah, Dibbling... I'm not sure what I think about him. Again, like, it's hard to know for sure without enough info. Like, is he nailed now? Though he's going to start every week, possibly not. But he's also only 4.5 million, so he could just rot on your bench. If you're happy, like, being happy with your team is a big part of FPL. If you're happy, you're happy. So. If Lewis gets leaked to start, I'll drop Vardy off to Lewis and get Havertz for a Wood, Haaland, and Havertz front three. Yeah, decent. I'll probably show my team at the deadline, but basically, I want to show it when I'm more sure I'm locked in. Again, I've already gone through loads of drafts. I am satisfied but want to be happy when I become happy. I am satisfied but want to be happy. When I become happy, I become satisfied. Thanks. That's the inspiration I needed this morning. You've got 3 United players in your lock draft. Yeah, Man United. For sure. For sure. Eze or Brennan Johnson. Honestly, I think Eze is just like a much better pick. Like Brennan. Well, actually, do you know what? I'm gonna take that back. I think Eze is probably a better pick because he's got the guaranteed minutes. He might take the odd penalty. We shouldn't forget that, by the way. I know Mateta took the last one. I get it, but he also got subbed at half time in the last game as well. His minutes probably aren't quite as good as Eze. So there's going to be time when Eze is on the pitch without Mateta and they may get a penalty. I appreciate that's a very niche scenario that will not happen that often, and Mateta will probably just take the penalty. But there is a chance. But if I was going for a 6.5-ish midfielder that wasn't Eze and it wasn't Savio, Brennan Johnson probably is one of the next best options, I would say. So, just to confuse matters even more, Connor... Tiki Taka Connor on Twitter, who last night tweeted to say David Raya was not spotted with the rest of the Arsenal squad at the hotel, has just messaged me and said, I got told Raya has now been spotted, should get a video in around an hour of him there to confirm it. I said, can I say on stream? He said, yes, but I won't 100% confirm until I've got the video. So apparently Raya's been spotted, but there's no evidence. And I'm not obviously Connor's been told there's a video and he hasn't got it yet. Christ's sake. I just don't want Raya hassle all the way to the deadline. Maybe I should just get Flecken. Now he's not gonna post on Twitter until he's got confirmation. So don't go messaging him. Don't go killing the messenger and all that. He'll tweet when he's got it. And if we don't get it, I guess we've got to assume he's still a doubt. said he isn't fit last night on Patreon. I don't know. I really don't know. So there's still no confirmation of anything. Like I think right with the if you just don't want the stress right now, the info is Raya is a doubt, and you just shouldn't go for him. I can imagine loads of FPL managers in bushes at grounds. But until we see that he was at the hotel, like the thing is, what if there is a video of him at the hotel and then he's on the bench because they don't want to risk him? Exactly. Even if he's spotted, it doesn't mean he plays. I agree. The problem I've got is the whole time I've been thinking this is just a joke. Like I bet he's fine. And then I've spent so much time looking at Flecken drafts. Oh, I just don't need this today. Don't need this today. I appreciate this is my job and it's great. I love it, but my God, this is like. I swear I haven't had a more stressful wildcard in the last 2 or 3 seasons. Wood or Calvert-Lewin on wildcard, and why? So I got Calvert-Lewin a bit cheaper. I prefer the fixtures overall. They don't play Chelsea away in game week 7. He hasn't been subbed off as much as Chris Wood either. That's about it. Both are good picks. If you want to go Wood, you should. Out Gibbs, White, Eze and Turner in. Smith Rowe and Burmo, Flecken. I'm not sure now is the right time to be buying Smith Rowe. I'd probably go for Semenyo, but he's still an okay option. Solanke on penalties with Son out. He should be, but I think Son will play, so it's still up in the air. Lewis start, we don't know. Haaland, Diaz, Saka or Watkins captain. Haaland for me. Hello, absolute legend. That must be a message for someone else, but I'll read it anyway. Need to bench 1 out of these 12. Come on, you've got to narrow it down. You're not going to bench Haaland, are you? You need to tell me who you're realistically looking at benching. Come on, you can't put Salah, Saka and Haaland in the list. That's mental. Probably Robinson though. Charlie, thank you. I have Trent, Gabriel, Mikalenko, Greaves. Which do you prefer to rotate with Mikalenko, Aina or Kirkes? I'll be honest, I've not looked at the rotation that much to know the fixtures, but I would say, Kirkes looks pretty nailed at the moment. I would put Forest defence slightly better than Bournemouth probably, but I haven't looked at the fixtures enough, and I'm not going to be able to look through that rotation now. That's just the honest answer. Is Saka, Diaz, Calvert-Lewin and Vardy better than Lewis, Rodgers, Havertz and Salah? Yes, probably. Alan, new member, thank you. Is Palmer captain a crazy shout? Not crazy, no. Am I locked in? No, definitely not. I'm now thinking, okay, let's just say, if Raya's an option. So if Raya starts, then it does get a little bit easier for me because then I definitely just go for Solanke. I definitely just go for Solanke then. Every time I look at a draft, I just think I just need an extra 0.1 million. And every day, not every day, but most days, I've made 0.1 somewhere in theory. And then every day it's like, but I just need another 0.1 million. If another 6 players could just drop in price, I'd have my perfect draft. When I hit 500,000 subs, what's the plan to celebrate? I don't know. Probably just go get a party popper maybe, and then just start looking ahead to 600k. I don't know. I should do a big giveaway though for 500k because I've never really done one. Like obviously I'm doing one with the sleeper stuff, and there's more coming on that this week as well. But I've not done like my own giveaway, not like a proper one for a long time. Get some merch printed up. Yeah, every time someone... I'm up for merchandise. I'm up for it, but I don't want to just... I think it's just a bit boring when you just get all the standard stuff and just stick your logo on it. And I know people would probably quite like that, like some stuff, but I don't know. Is Jackson better than Solanke? Long term, I don't think so, but he is decent. Palmer and Havertz or Saka and Jackson? Saka and Jackson, I think. Saka and Jackson is also probably a bit cheaper, which is nice. McManaman or Letitia? These days I find it quite hard to recommend Letitia, but if we just go on football only, Letitia was great to watch. Palmer or Watkins for wildcard? I prefer Palmer, but again, he's more expensive, takes up a midfield spot. It's not as easy just one or the other, but in isolation, Palmer. Van der Ven spoke about a penalty to save his life, and he said it would be Son. Makes you think. Makes me think. Yeah, makes me think Son might keep penalties. I already thought that. I wouldn't base a whole wildcard around having... Yeah, I'm having 3 Arsenal. Don't forget to stay hydrated. I am. Look, I finished half the bottle already, and I've still got an hour and 16 minutes. How easily can I get Bruno Fernandes in if Raya is fine? Do you know what? It's not that bad. If only... I'll tell you what, I'm going to take a screenshot of this, and I'll show you this draft I'm just coming up with. If only I had another 0.1 million, honestly. I'm just going to take a picture now. See it. I'm going to show you the draft that I'm playing around with. We'll call this... I'll give this one a unique name. Wildcard 9. I haven't changed Phoenix yet, no, so that's about an hour of listening to that. Let me put on classical chill out music. See if that chills me out. Scenes when Vardy scores. Yeah, I mean that stuff can happen, but obviously it happens everywhere. I think it's just mad to even think about that kind of stuff. Arsenal best defense in the league against Leicester at home. Do you know what I mean? Really not much more to it than that. Especially if Raya starts. So this is the draft that I just put together. Oh, whoa, where's not? Oh yeah. Oh, I've got to make it a bit smaller. Hang on. This is the draft that I just put together. With Fernandes. Yeah, I know Fernandes. You hate him. I get it. You don't need to tell me. I get it. You hate him. Raya in. Solanke back in. Trent still in. 0.4 million. So I could do Mikalenko to Lewis. See, if I had another 0.1, I would just do Greaves to Pinnock. And then I'd be quite happy with that. Mikalenko, Pinnock, and Colwell having to play one of them every week. Arsenal are 9th this season for expected goals this season. Just bear in mind it's only 5 game weeks, and they've been down to 10 men twice. So I could do something like that. Or I could just do Bruno to... So I could just do this instead. Let me just make wildcard draft number 10 for a minute. I could do Eze in... I could almost get to Vardio if only I had another 0.1 million. Genuinely. Freaking nightmare. This is still not that bad though. I just need an extra 1 million and I'm sorted. Also, I've really got to be careful about my captain. I'm not sure if it's on Haaland. It should be. Let me save wildcard draft number 10. Man, the production value on this stream is just amazing right now. This one. So I'd have Trent, Vardio, Gabriel, Colwell and Greaves. 0.2 million in the bank. So close to having Mikalenko as well. There's not really... I looked at the 4.4 million defenders, but it's like Gay and Anderson, and I'm not really seeing many clean sheets on the horizon. It's stressed right now, but I'm so glad they made the pricing more competitive. I agree. I said this, I think on the final... I've lost track. I've done so much stuff this week. But honestly, I've done wildcards in... Now, if it's a second wildcard around blank and double game weeks, it is usually a bit easier because if you're big into double game weeks, you know exactly which teams you're looking at. But yeah, sometimes you just do a wildcard draft and it basically picks itself, and I just don't feel like that with this draft at all, which is good, but it has been a nightmare. And I can, every now and again, I get this thought that I just didn't need to wildcard in the first place. Like, if I hadn't wildcarded, my team this week would have been Calvert-Lewin and Haaland, so I'd have had no Solanke, but I would have had Fernandes instead of Semenyo, and I would just play 3-5-2. And then I would have had Trent, Gabriel, and Konza with Henderson in goal, which would have been fine. Swap Bruno for Bowen in that draft, and you're laughing. Yeah, Bowen not bad. I don't think Bowen's necessarily better than Bruno, but he is cheaper. Okay, sorry, I have missed some super chats. The super chat's going to be hard to keep up with. On wildcard, would you rather have Luis Diaz and Wood or Vardy, Eze and Calvert-Lewin? I'd rather have the second one without info around Luis. Luis Diaz or Eze long-term pick? It depends how long-term you're thinking, but honestly, I think it could be Eze. which I know people will think is absolutely crazy. Plus, he's cheaper. Should I captain Haaland or Palmer? Haaland. Like, Haaland captain is just fairly easy, right? You don't want Jackson because of fixtures, but Cole will. Yeah, but like, it's not the same, is it? Like, Jackson's taken up nearly 8 million and he's a forward, and Colwell's a 4.5 million defender. Like, which 4.5s are miles better than Colwell? By the way, if I go for Raya, I'll probably just go for Pinnock instead of Colwell for what it's worth, because the short-term fixtures are good. Especially if I don't go for Vardio. Like, if I go for Porro instead of Vardio, I'll probably go for Pinnock instead of Colwell. This is what I'm saying. I'm just not locked in completely at all. Thoughts on Savio? I don't mind him as a punt. Just don't be surprised if at some point he gets benched, because after all, he is a Man City player. Going Raya and Muric on wildcard, 4.5 backup. Yeah, if you really don't need the money, fair enough. But I don't like spending that much money on goalkeepers personally. Salah, Haaland, Trent in my FPL, are they nailed ever? I'm not sure what you mean, but like they are nailed on players pretty much. Slanky on penalties? No, not necessarily. But I mean, Richarlison wasn't on penalties last year, and he was a very good number 9 for Spurs for a time in FPL. I'm not booking in a transfer for Semenyo. I'm just going to keep him. I think the whole Semenyo thing's being a little bit. I get it, right? The fixtures aren't amazing, but I've messed up my thing now, haven't I? That looks like an absolute mess. I don't know how to rectify that. Anyway, yeah, the Arsenal and City at home is not great, but I just bench him. And Villa away is fine. Brentford away is fine. Brighton at home is fine. Like, there's not a huge amount of fixtures there that I'm particularly worried about having to play Semenyo in if it comes to it. Like, he's just a 5.6 million midfielder. You're not going to have the perfect team every week anyway. With Porro, Trent, Gabriel, Raya, should I go for Vardy or 2? Is too much money in defence worth it? It really depends on what you're losing out elsewhere, to be honest. I'm not sure I'm going to go for a defence like that, because I just want to remain a bit more flexible in my attack. But I don't think it's bad. I definitely don't think it's bad. What if Salah goes nuts today? Then he goes nuts. Like, people have said that for Game Week 4. He blanked. Game Week 5, he got 1 assist. Like, Salah's not going to smash it every single week. Like, I'm not going to go with Salah, and if he gets a hat-trick today, I'm just not going to have Salah next week either. Like, that's all there is to it, really. Best 7.6 million midfielder, already have in Burmo, Smith Rowe, Semenyo. Honestly, I think it's probably Eze. But if you don't want to go for him, I'd go for Bowen or Maddison. Wildcard with Diaz or Palmer. I'd prefer Palmer. Is Konate worth a shout with Lewis, Gabriel, and 4 millions? Is Konate worth a shout with Lewis, Gabriel, 2 millions? No, I don't think so. Do you think it's a decent week to go against Haaland captain? I don't think it's a bad week. If you want to go for like Saka or Salah in particular. Is it worth keeping Robinson? Would have 4.7 million. If you think he's going to get clean sheets, yes. If not, get rid. Would you play Wood or Rodgers? Probably Chris Wood. I'd take the penalties. This Raya stuff's going to go down to the wire, isn't it? I can tell already. One thing we need to double check is, if he wasn't spotted last night and he's been spotted today, who's doing the spotting? We need to get them some glasses. What do you think about Collins, Chelsea for defence? I think it's fine. They're both good 4.5s. Do we actually want Flecken in our teams? I think I'm okay with it, yeah. I'm taking the punt on Savio for Eze, even though Eze's better long term. I think that's fine. I think if you're prepared to just take a potential bench in, like Savio started every game when fit, I think, in the league. I'm pretty sure he has. And the next 4 fixtures are pretty good. I think that's fine. Yeah, I really don't mind that. I mean, to be honest, like I've looked at Eze's fixtures, but they're not amazing, to be honest with you. Like Everton away, Liverpool at home, Forest away, Spurs at home. They're not like you're not looking at them thinking, "Crap, I've got to have an attacker." So if you want to punt Savio, I really don't mind it. Again, I'm quite conservative in terms of saving transfers. But it could be that Savio smashed it and the transfer's worth it, right? It's one of those things. It's probably quite tight. I'm always going to favour the player that's definitely going to start for 90 minutes every week. I just always am going to favour that type of player. I also think Eze's been a little bit unlucky not to have more returns. Robertson and Saliba or Trent and Udogie. I'm not a fan of Udogie, to be honest. So, like Robertson, you still cover the Liverpool defence, but you get an Arsenal defender with it. So I think it's got to be that one. Just finished work and joined the stream. Oof. Are you in a different time zone or you just work nights? Any news on Raya? So the latest I've got is that he's apparently been spotted, but I genuinely don't have any more than that. I also don't have any evidence that he's been spotted. But I guess I didn't have any evidence that he hadn't been spotted last night. I just don't have any more than that. Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. Oh, just see. Sorry, I'm just trying to keep up with all the freaking stuff going on. There's a Liverpool account with like 70,000 followers saying that Jota keeps his place and Alisson starts. I don't follow them though, so I'm not sure how legit that is. I'm going to ask someone. Just seeing it on Discord. Doo-doo. Nicholas, sorry, I'm so distracted this morning. Tell us if you're going to keep Raya at least. If we get this is where I'm at with Raya. If we get confirmation that Raya is going to play, I'm going to go Raya. If we're still doubtful, I'm going to go Flecken. You think Darwin will start? I'd be very surprised about that, to be honest. Okay, apparently, I don't know if that Liverpool source is legit or not. Gordon, Eze to Martinelli or Trent to Gabriel. I don't think you need to sell Eze. Gordon might be playing up front with penalties today if Isak's out, so I probably wouldn't get Martinelli. So I'd go the Gabriel route. It's probably a better longer term move if you're happy selling Trent. Edison / Raya, Trent, Timber. Timber's a bit of a risk. Veltman, Lewis, Porro. I would probably go for Van Heck over Veltman, I think. Porro, Smith Rowe. Is this a wildcard team or not? Like, if it's not a wildcard team, it's probably fine. If it's a wildcard team, I'd be unsure about Timber, Veltman. Lewis, obviously, we don't know if he's going to start. Smith Rowe, I'm not sure about either. But that's just personal preferences, you know? What do you think about the FF Hub wildcard team? I'd have to double check it. I haven't checked it since earlier in the week, and it's probably updated because minutes and stats and stuff like that would have changed. Is it still? I need to double check actually. Let me have a look. I'll have a quick look at it now. The last time I did one, they didn't have Haaland. Let me see. No, it's got Haaland in. I mean, that wildcard team is very similar to what my team will be, so I like it. It's got Vardio on the bench instead of Colwell. I'm not sure about that. Robertson, Gabriel, Flecken, Saka, Eze, Burmo, Semenyo, Wood, Havertz, Haaland. I think it looks pretty good, to be honest. I could see myself ending up with a team like that. In fact, I think one of the drafts that I've shown you is quite similar to that, just Calvert-Lewin instead of Wood. Start Bowen, Smith Rowe, or Eze. Eze, I'd say. Eze, then Bowen, then Smith Rowe. Salah or Palmer, Salah, Bruno and Mbermo, or Palmer and Rodgers with Mavididi on the bench. Probably Bruno and Mbermo with Rodgers on the bench if you can. Would be the preference, I guess. But Bruno and Mbermo, I think, is better than Palmer Rodgers overall. Playing 5 in midfield for forwards, Calvert-Lewin or Wood this week. Wood. Okay. Dibbling and Porro or Rodgers and Romero. Rodgers and Romero probably, or just a different defender from another team. I do think Rodgers is worth the money over Dibbling, to be honest. Nicholas Jackson and Archer or Calvert-Lewin and Wood. Calvert-Lewin and Wood. Like, by a mile. Which one of the two would you play, Wood or McNeil? I'd definitely go Wood on penalties. If Raya doesn't start, could it be Neto starting instead? Yeah, could be. Well, presumably it will be. Any update on Raya? No, not at the moment. And we've got an hour till the deadline. Oh, it's gonna be pain. I feel like I'm not looking at my wildcard team enough either. Okay, lots of people saying that Liverpool count is legit. So it sounds like Jota is starting, and so is Alisson. I just realised I've still got classical chill out on. Why Pinnock over Collins or Colwill? I think Pinnock's goal threat is not that bad, and I like the fixtures. And I'm not convinced that Collins is way more nailed than Pinnock, like other people, but he might be. Could be a problem later on. On my wild card, Lewis and Watkins, only Gabriel and Saka from Arsenal, Saliba and Solanke, triple Arsenal, probably Saliba and Solanke. Does Jota starting mean Diaz is going to start? Like it'd be Jota through the middle and Diaz on the left, right? Same as most other games. I'm going to leave it another about half an hour until I really start playing around with my team. I want to see if we get any more Raya info. Start Levi Colwill or Anthony Robinson. Colwill. Evan Nielsen from Bournemouth is a good punt with the fixtures over Wood or Calvert-Lewin. I don't mind him as a punt, right? And I like Semenyo for the same reason, like the next couple of fixtures. And look, longer term, you could maybe argue that someone like Smith Rowe is better than Semenyo. That's fine, but I don't think it's a guarantee. Whereas I think with Evan Nielsen, Wood and Calvert-Lewin are just much better options longer term. Evan Nielsen might not even take the next penalty either. Like, he's a nice price. I think he's only 5.9 million. I don't mind him short term, but I'd rather have Wood and Calvert-Lewin. Evan Nielsen often gets often gets subbed early as well. Maybe that won't always happen, but I wouldn't put too much money on it. Alisson, Becker, Trent, Konza, Saliba, Vardy, Salah, Palmer, Eze, Semenyo, Evan Nielsen, Solanke. Yep, looks good. Again, if that's a wild card team, I'm not sure about Alisson, but I suspect it's not. Flecken and Trent or Edison and Porro. Flecken and Trent, I think. Solanke or Wood. I mean, Solanke probably. Like, there is definitely a world where Wood ends up better than Solanke, honestly, because of penalties. Solanke probably doesn't have them or might not have them. But I think the fixtures from 8 are very good for Spurs, and I'm just hoping they will continue to be one of the better attacks in the league. Can you do a reminder for everyone not to confirm a transfer out if you're not fully set on selling them? I sold Raya playing around and lost 0.1. Yeah, you definitely shouldn't do that. We've all done it, though. Rodgers or Smith Rowe for 5th midfield. Rodgers, I would just take the cheaper player, to be honest. Like, I'd probably be more confident in Smith Rowe's minutes longer term, just because. No, actually, I don't even know if that's true. I think Rodgers' minutes are looking great, and I'm not sure it's going to change. So I'm going to take that back. The Havertz rise was unexpected. It was, yes. A little bit annoying, but I might not even end up on him, so I'm not completely bothered. Oh, apparently that Liverpool guy is just. Hang on, let me just check this now. Thank you, by the way, to everyone that's like sending me this stuff. Oh, someone said it looks like we're getting team leaks more frequent. He said this is just my opinion. So the Alisson and Jota thing is not a leak. So maybe ignore that. Although I still think both of them will start. Flecken or Edison. I mean, Edison is probably better, but then it depends whether you can use that money wisely, right? The other million. Like if Lewis starts, is that a nice cheap way into the City defence, etc., etc.? Seems like Martinelli is getting overlooked considering his record against Leicester. Yeah, I personally just don't pick players based on records. It's just, do I think they're a good option? And I mean, Martinelli's minutes have been pretty good. But he hasn't done that much, right? Need to bring up his numbers here. Yeah, 0. Like he's got the same amount of returns as Eze and Fernandes. Granted, they have played Man City away with 10 men, and they were down to 10 men against Brighton as well. Yeah, look, Marseille's fine as a pump, but I won't be going there. What do I think of Amadou Onana? I think he's probably quite a good player. I think he's absolutely not a good FPL pick. Vandenberg just wouldn't go there. No guarantee he starts. What's your opinion on awarding vice captain double points if your captain has scored less? Doesn't that just take away the captaincy decision? That doesn't sound very good to me. I'd rather just get rid of captaincy, I think. Otherwise, you're like this week, I would just captain Haaland and vice captain Saka and know that I'm getting the highest score. Like, it'd just be a bit boring, wouldn't it? Unless I'm missing something. Haaland or Saka for captain, just captain both and get the vice captain. No, I'm messing. I'm going to go Haaland over the two. You are a ray of sunshine on a deadline day. When you're 10 drafts deep, Andy will always find a way. Thank you, 13 months. I really don't think I can help very much, though, when I'm sat here not really knowing what I'm doing with my own team. You're going against the grain and captain in Salah. Nice, good differential. Why not Saka? I'm too scared to not captain Haaland. Is probably what it boils down to. Like Newcastle have not played that well. Haaland's been amazing. Yes, he's missing Rodri now. De Bruyne is out, so it might not be. Like this might be a good time to go against him, but his ownership is so high. Like sometimes you just got to pick what battles you want to fight. And I don't think Haaland against Newcastle away is a battle that I want to take on. So I'm just going to captain him every week for the next 4 weeks. And that's it. Rico Lewis and Chris Wood or Vardy and no third forward. Probably Wood plus a defender. It doesn't have to be Rico Lewis, though. It could be a 4.5 that's more nailed. Salah's not injured, no. It's just to spread funds elsewhere. That's why people are selling. Besides Greaves, I need another £4 million defender. What would you suggest? My first suggestion would be don't get another £4 million defender. But maybe just one of the non-fast guys at Leicester, possibly. Like I think Akoli is it. I think he's playing at the moment. I think he's for. Like there's other £4 million at Ipswich, but I probably just wouldn't go there. Vestergaard is out. He could be back soon. Is that going to mess up Akoli? I don't know. I don't really know enough about Leicester to say for sure. Vandenberg, I just wouldn't go there. Bednarek at Southampton, maybe. Kanate's fine, but like again, how many clean sheets are they getting? Do we reckon? The idea is that it encourages people to go against Haaland. You get 2 bites at the captaincy. That would that doesn't make any sense, right? So if your vice captain beats your captain for points, you just get your vice captain doubled. How would that encourage people to go against Haaland? I would just captain Haaland every week without fail because he's always most likely to get loads of points, and then I would just take a punt on someone else because it wouldn't matter. So I'd always get Haaland captain. That makes no sense. Again, unless I'm missing something, so what people are saying, or what some people seem to be saying, is your captain you put on, and if your vice captain scores more points, you get those points instead. How would that make people not go for Haaland? You go for Haaland even more, right? And you would just take a punt every week. Or what I would do is go for the 2 highest captains. I would just go for Saka and Haaland. I wouldn't even take a punt. Would ruin the game. Yeah, it makes no sense whatsoever, in my opinion. Again, unless I'm completely missing the point, but I don't think I am. But you could have 2 differential captains like Palmer and Salah. Yeah, or I could just captain the best player in the game and then captain another player. And if the best player in the game doesn't do well, I get the other one. Honestly, I think if you're trying to make less people captain Haaland, if that's the idea, you should get rid of captaincy, right? Someone has the clip on Andy saying Raya in. I didn't say that. I said someone has said that he's been spotted at the hotel after last night saying that he hadn't been, but there's no evidence. There's a video apparently, but I've not seen it. The person who's told me hasn't seen it either. So right now, Raya is still a big doubt. Stephen, thank you very much. I think what they're getting at is captain someone else each week and vice Haaland. If Haaland scores more, you get his points anyway. It doesn't matter, though, because you're getting the highest score no matter what. It doesn't matter whether you captain Haaland or vice captain him, right? You're getting the highest scorer. Seriously, I don't know what you're on about. Yeah, I don't think we should discuss that captaincy thing because I don't think I'm missing what people are saying. I think what people are saying, it sounds crazy. Sounds ridiculous. Sub Rodgers for Harden or Chris Wood and Calvert-Lewin. Nope. I would play all of them ahead of Rodgers, I think. Colin, thank you. Just on Rodgers, right? He's a really good option this week. If you're not wildcarding, you're having to play him, great. It's Ipswich away, brilliant. He's probably going to play 90 minutes. But for everyone else that's wildcarding with lots of good attackers, I'll just remind you that after game week 4, everyone was like so sick of Rodgers. And now he's got 2 assists. It's like, well, you definitely can't bench him. You can bench him, right? If you've got 7 other attackers that you think are better. It's not ideal, don't get me wrong. But that's why you have a good bench, that if something goes wrong, there's a player there. So I would stop panicking about it as much. Cunha, Calvert-Lewin or Welbeck, short talk for all 3. Cunha, the fixtures don't really get great till 10. Welbeck, the fixtures aren't amazing. They're fine, but they're not amazing. I would just go for Calvert-Lewin because of the fixtures. And he's on penalties, although Welbeck will be on penalties with João Pedro out, I would say. Semenyo and Rao, or Rodgers and Calvert-Lewin. Rodgers and Calvert-Lewin. Opinions on Mavididi for Semenyo or Rodgers long run. Okay, is there any Leicester fans in the building? Is Mavididi nailed on? I don't think he is. I don't think he's necessarily like 100% nailed. And so that's why I probably wouldn't pick him. Flecken and Vardio or Raya and Lewis. Raya and Lewis if Lewis is leaked to start. Stephen, you remember, thank you. Okay, so someone said nailed. Someone said he's not nailed. No, he isn't. Yes, he is. I don't think he's nailed. Like the fixture run is good after this week. I get it, but I mean, he has scored each of the last 2 games. That's probably going to give you a good chance of staying in the team, but I'm just not sure I would risk it. The term nailed is starting to lose meaning. Yeah, exactly. There are very few players that are actually nailed. Like for me, a player that's nailed is someone that you don't need to check the team sheet for because you just know they're going to be in there no matter what. Very few players actually like that. There's probably quite a lot actually, but a lot of them are not FPL relevant. Any chance on considering Adama? Nope. 0 chance. Saka, Solanke, Rodgers, or Smith Rowe, Salah, Stewart. The one without Stewart, I would say. Is it idiotic to keep João Pedro on wildcard? I wouldn't go as far as to say it's idiotic, no. I wouldn't do it, though. Would you have Mavididi as your 8th attacker? I'd much rather have Rodgers, I think. How about you can't captain a player 2 weeks in a row? Yeah, I just fine, I guess, but I don't like it. Because it just builds up even more potential luck. Like, what if Haaland's got Southampton and Leicester 2 games in a row? You captain against Southampton, he blanks. Someone like, I get it. There's already luck in the game, so maybe it doesn't matter. But it's going to be super frustrating, I think. Again, this always happens when a player does really well. Everyone wants to change the rules. There'll be a time when Haaland keeps blanking, and then you'll get loads of comments saying, well, it was obvious that Haaland was going to start blanking. You should have just gone without him. And then people won't want to change the rules. So I get it, right? It's boring. You want to go against Haaland, and it's hard to do. I don't think we need to start changing the rules, to be honest. I mean, again, I say this every season, and they did try this year, and it's worked quite well. It's prices. That's how you manipulate ownership. And if Haaland's going to be, what is he right now? He is his ownership is 72.8%. All right, it's nuts. I get it. At 15.3 million. So do you know what? If he carries on like this for the rest of the season, do you know what you do next year? You make him 16, 17 million. That's what you do. And that's how you control the ownership of Haaland. You don't need to go changing the rules. And if people still want to go for him because he's that consistent, they can do it. With the Isak news, Gordon will play more central, even though the fixtures aren't amazing. Eddie's press conference yesterday was incredibly positive. Yeah, I like Gordon, but the fixtures aren't great, and Isak might not be out for a while, for a long term or anything like that. Did I see Praz, Luke, and the others wildcard teams? I've seen drafts and stuff, but that's about it. Again, I'm not starting Rodgers because I've got 7 other attackers that I think are also pretty good. Oh, jeez. Hang on a sec. I'm just going to tweet this Raya stuff. Someone's going to get loads of messages about it. This morning. Is Keane nailed? No. No, not now. Brownthwaite's back. No, I don't think. To be honest, I haven't watched a huge amount of Everton games in full this season, so maybe Keane has been great, but it presumably will be Tarkowski and Brownthwaite from now on. I cannot imagine that Michael Keane will stay on the team. It's not worth the risk. Mikalenko should be first choice right back. Vardy as a pick with his upcoming fixtures. He's okay for the price. He's okay for the price, but I'm not a huge fan of that pick. Not long term. Solanke and Lewis or Konza and Jackson. Solanke and Lewis. Rodgers and Greaves, fourth defender, or Dibbling and Lewis. Rodgers and Greaves probably. Fourth defender though, that's dodgy. I mean, Lewis might not be any better though. Pickford, I would rather just go Flecken for less money, I think. Flecken, Collins, Palmer, Rodgers, or Flecken, Vardy, or Semenyo, Havertz. Probably the second one. Do I think Chelsea players keep being overlooked? Yes, probably rightly so in most cases though. They're fine, absolutely, but they're not essential or anything like that. Why choose a Brentford defender over Aina fixtures? Yeah, Brentford have got very good fixtures coming up. Also, they play Ipswich at home in game week 9, where Liverpool and Arsenal are against each other. I might not want to bench any Liverpool or Arsenal players, but the potential is there, I would say. Please repeat the Raya news. Someone has messaged the Tiki Taka Connor guy that tweeted last night that Raya wasn't spotted at the hotel. He messaged me to say, got told Raya has now been spotted. Should get a video in around an hour of him. This was nearly an hour ago to confirm it. I've not seen the video. That's it. He hasn't seen him personally. He's just going by what he's hearing. So I don't know. I really can't say any more than that, honestly. But as it stands right now with current info, I'm going to go Flecken. But I'm telling you right now, if there's any indication that Raya is going to start, I'm going Raya. That's what's going to happen. There's no other goalkeeper for me up for consideration, I don't think. I mean, Edison, I might get a last-minute panic on, but probably not. I really hope Bruno is a great pick. I don't have Bruno though, and I don't think I'm going to go for him. And it's going to really be frustrating when if he does well. It's going to be so annoying if he does well. Start Greaves or Hall? Must start one. Probably Greaves. Surely Martinez keeps a clean sheet. Any advice? If I had Martinez, I would definitely hold. Lewis and Rogers or Mikalenko and Smith Rowe. Probably Lewis and Rogers. Play one. Ruben Diaz, Luca Dean, Gusto. Gusto might start. I'd probably play. I mean, Luca Dean should start as well, right? Just hope he doesn't get hooked at half time again. I'd probably start Luca Dean out of those. Smith Rowe, Welbeck. Chelsea away. Who have Fulham have got? Oh, it's Forest to win it. Welbeck will be on penalties. I'm going to say Welbeck. Lewis and Mikalenko are 2 4.5s. I mean, you could go Mikalenko on a 4.5 and save 0.2 as well. If Lewis starts, if you want to risk him, go for it. Otherwise, if you want to go safe, you go 2.5s. You know that now. Only you can decide how whether you want to risk that or not. Why am I picking Eze with no penalties? I mean, who's better for that price? You know? Praz, nice of him to cheer the lads on. Oh, dear. Yeah, I think for Eze's price, like, he's just a good option. Like, that's all. I mean, you can say that Diaz is better. That's fine, but he's also a million more. Best 4.5 million midfielder, probably dibbling right now. Dallo, Eze, Rice, or Gabriel and Burma and Nana. Definitely the second one. Do I take Snus or Snooze? Is it Snooze or Snus? Snooze, isn't it? I think. No, I don't. What do I think about Sancho as a punt? I'd rather go Savio, I think. Although 2 weeks, maybe. Sancho, maybe. He's going to keep getting subbed early, right? Vardiol's pretty nailed, yeah, I would say. I mean, again, does that mean he's going to start every game? Possibly not. If you got Fast at 4 million, is it worth keeping him for value over Greaves? Yeah, don't mind keeping Fast. Doesn't Raya just miss one game max if at all? Yeah. Getting ready to play the Gary Neville banker clip when Calvert-Lewin does nothing and gets hooked for Beto. I don't know if that's going to happen, to be honest. He has played 90 minutes in the last 2 games and 87 in game week 3. The minutes have actually been pretty good. What about your captain can be over 10 million? Again, for everyone coming in and moaning about the reveals, if you want to go and watch my thoughts on which players I'm considering, there's final thoughts, there's team selection. I just don't know which players I'm going for. That's why they're covered. Because otherwise, I do like you feel free to see who they are. I'll show you them right now. I tell you now, that won't be my final draft, or it probably won't be my final draft. And so it just saves questions of why are you going for Lewis? Why are you going for Lewis? I might not go for Lewis. I really don't know. Kovacic worth a punt of 5.5? Probably not. I'm feeling Vardio is the same risk as Lewis, but more expensive. I don't think that's true. Start Moreno. He is more expensive, though. Start Moreno, Luca Dean. Surely they can't both troll. They can. I'd probably start the guy at home, I guess, but... Raya, Diaz, Calvert-Lewin, or Flecken, Eze, Havertz. Raya, Diaz, Calvert-Lewin. Well, the Raya one if he starts, the Flecken one if he doesn't. Salah and Calvert-Lewin versus Saka and Havertz -4. I wouldn't take a -4 for that. Do you have funds there to bring Raya in? I would make it work. That's why I'm waiting. My God, there's so much going on. Do you think Sanchez is a good goalkeeper pick? Yeah, I think he's perfectly fine. The reason that I'm looking at Flecken over him is I just like the saving money and the fixtures that are coming up soon. I think I'll risk it with Raya. Honestly, I've said the whole time, I just would not be surprised if he plays. I just really would not. Have you considered going for 2 cheap forwards and getting a playing? No, I'm not going to get a 4.5 or 4.4 bench option for gold just to cover Raya this week. I'm either going for Raya or I'm going for Flecken. There's no in between. Is even the wife? Oh, I thought maybe the wife was sending me a message about whether Rico Lewis or Raya start, but she wasn't, unfortunately. Am I singing Harry Potter? No, but I'm listening to classical chill out. I don't even know what the song is right now. Bach? I don't know. I'm not a cultured person. I usually don't listen to it. I'm trying to chill myself out. Best Raya alternative, why Fabianski? I mean, really pick any 4 million goalkeeper you want. I mean, Areola seems to pick up a few injuries here and there. If I go Flecken, I'm probably going to go Valdemarsson. Yeah, I know Fabianski doesn't play. It's just a 4 million goalkeeper. Thoughts on going for Vardy, benching for this week and then playing from next week? I don't mind him, but like, didn't someone say he's seriously had like hardly any shots this season whatsoever? If you can afford it, I would just get to Wood or Calvert-Lewin, I think. Is Game Week 6 wildcard just a big knee jerk? Probably. Raya will not play. I can bet a lot on that. I also don't understand why you think he is guaranteed to be out max 1 game. I just don't think there's much of an issue there in the first place, but yeah, you could be right. Jota's minutes looking good. I think a start is looking good. I think anything more than that is up for debate. Back-to-back hat tricks, nice. That's good. Back-to-back hat tricks for or Bark. Is it Bark? They're like Bark, like a dog, but not quite the same. Would be nice for Fernandez. Vardio, Mavadidi, or Luis Semenyo. Vardio, Mavadidi, or Luis Semenyo. Luis Semenyo, I guess, if we get a leak that he's starting. I don't even know if we're going to get a leak, though. Chances of Rico Lewis being benched, I really don't know. I really don't know. It's bark like a dog. Okay. Anyway, the song's changed now, or the piece of music has changed. Lots of people are saying Lewis starts. Who's saying that? Don't stress too much. That's how you ended up picking up Kwanzaa. Yeah, I'm worried. I'm worried that if I do the same with Lewis, that's what will happen. Aina or Konza, better clean sheet chance this week. I'd play Aina, I think, if I had both. All of your drafts are great. I hardly think there's much difference between them in the medium term. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Thoughts on Nunez for João Pedro? Nunez probably won't even start, so I wouldn't go there. Feel like I'm the only person firming the price changes and not wildcarding. Lots of people won't be wildcarding, and lots of people will have really good teams that haven't wildcarded, so I wouldn't panic. Any nailed Arsenal defender other than Saliba, Gabriel? Not really. None that I would risk anyway. Sanchez, Smith Rowe, Rogers or Onana. Sanchez, Smith Rowe, Rogers or Onana, Rogers, McNeil. Sanchez probably. Or just Sanchez and McNeil. Opinion on FPL affecting mental health? If it does, you should probably stop playing, I would say, or try and speak to someone. But yeah, it probably does happen. I think it does probably make people's weekends worse sometimes. Would you save 0.5 million for Timber over Saliba? No, I just wouldn't take the risk with him. Like, Timber's minutes are probably going to be quite good, but oh geez, only half an hour to the deadline now. I need to start getting like drafts locked in, or at least having a couple of drafts ready. So again, so just to show you right now, this is the team that I'm currently on. I don't even know how much money's in the bank. I could probably just have a quick look. There is 0.6 million in the bank. I can't show you that. It doesn't show up. There's 0.6 million in the bank with this draft. This is what I'm currently on. So I've got Rico Lewis. Can I go with him without a leak? Probably not. I don't know. Is that going to be what I end up on? I don't know. Let me just play around with the draft and I'll bring up the screenshot a second. So I don't want to do it all on. I don't want like you just to watch me playing around with my draft on the other screen because that would just get very boring very quickly. So let me just build the Raya draft first of all. So 0.6 million in the bank. I could go to Fernandes. Hang on. I could just get Bruno Fernandes. I shouldn't get Fernandes. I could get Fernandes though. I'm so tempted just to go with him. I might have already shown you this draft actually. Yeah, this would be. I quite like this one because I can just hide. So let me just show you this draft sec. Sorry, I'm a bit all over the place. So there's nothing in the bank for this one. So this is the Raya starts with Lewis. Okay. I need a producer. Anyone want to be a producer for free? So this will be the draft. I've got nothing in the bank with this. So potentially gets me the Man City defender for cheap. And if he doesn't play, Mikalenko covers quite nice. And Pedro Porro is there ready for game week 8 onwards. I think that's quite a nice draft with Eze. Honestly, anyone that thinks I'm just trying to bait with Bruno, like, just hasn't watched me for very long. I ignore the noise, all the comments around him. I just don't care if people think he's a bad pick. And I don't also really care that much about form either. Like, Fernandes is going to keep playing. He's got really good fixtures. At some point, he'll put away these chances he's getting. He'll be a good option. So I am considering him. I probably won't go for him because it's him, Trent, or Solanke that I would have to drop. And he is probably the most likely option. But I might just also just go for him. And then this is the alternative. This is the Fernandez version. And this is if... Oh, for Christ's sake. Hang on. This is the Fernandez version. So Fernandez instead of Eze and Greaves instead of Porro. But then I feel like Lewis is a little bit more risky. But Greaves and Mikalenko do cover Lewis really well, as I spoke about in the video the other day. But that's Raya. That's if Raya starts. If Raya doesn't start, which is probably more what I should be thinking about right now. Flecken goes in. And then I've got to get Saliba. So I think if... Oh, for Christ's sake, hang on a sec. I think if Ray is out, I almost certainly just go for Eze. I think that's quite likely. And I'd probably just go for Saliba and just leave the extra money in the bank. So I'd probably just go for something like this. So let me call this Flecken with Lewis. So if Ray is out, it'll probably be more something like this, I think. I hope we get some info in the next 20 minutes. I do not want to be doing this with like a minute or two to go to the deadline. So just be something like that. Which again, I think is all right. Does beg the question, when would I even play Lewis? Like I wouldn't play him this week. Or next week. So what's the point in having him, I guess? I think in that one, maybe there's less point in having Lewis. But then I don't want Pinnock in that because I've got Flecken. Yeah, when am I ever playing Lewis? Game week 9, I'd play him. Your wildcard yesterday was much, much better. What was my wildcard yesterday? Which one? I had Raya, and Raya might not play. Well, the alternative is to get Havertz. I kind of like to not get Havertz though. I think I just need someone to say that Ray is fine. I don't even need to know that Raya is starting. I just need to know that he's available, and I'm just going to go for it. Hang on, let me just put this together though. Yeah, and then there's probably Flecken with Havertz. I suspect Raya is probably fine. Yeah. Hang on a sec. Raya with Havertz. No, sorry, Flecken with Havertz. Oh Christ. Yeah, so there's this one. This is like the non... Oh, where is it? I think it's this one. This is like the non-double Arsenal defence version where you got Vardy for safety. But someone said earlier, in fact, people have said this all week. It's like you're buying Vardy. It's like it's such a killer to play 1.2 million more. But potentially the same outcome. Just go, yeah, again, it's very easy to say just go with Diaz, but like he is more expensive. Like it's like saying, why are you going for Semenyo? Just go for Cole Palmer. Why doubts on Bruno? I just don't think I can do it. No consideration for Wood. Yes, but I'm probably going to go for Solanke instead. Sticking with Raya instead of a -4. Yep, fair. Dunkel Greaves. Greaves probably, just because he's at home. Bowen versus Eze versus Savio. Eze's, for value, I think Eze's probably the best of those lot, and for nailed on-ness long term. Wood and Diaz and Lewis, or Wood and Bowen and Vardio, or Solanke and Bowen and Carwell. I can drop Porro and have Lewis. Carwell with like, I can't. There's no way I'm going to process that question properly. You've got 3 different alternatives, And then there's I can drop Porro and have Lewis, Carwell with Diaz and Solanke. I'm never going to process that. So if I not if I have to answer, but to give you an answer, I'd probably go Wood, Diaz and Lewis and hope for the best. I just no way I can process all that and give you a proper answer. Downgrade Trent to Porro or Solanke to Calvert-Lewin. Probably. I want to say Trent to Porro, but I don't know if I would do it myself. So probably Solanke to Calvert-Lewin. Captaincy, Saka, Salah, Palmer, or maybe Watkins. Saka or Salah, I think. Is there a draft with Salah and Haaland? No, not for me. There's probably ones out there, but I won't be going for them. Why isn't anyone going for Salah and Haaland? Just takes up a lot of budget. Lewis and Smith Rowe or Vardio and Dibney. I think I did that one. Saliba, Vardio and Saka or Trent, Son and Konsa. The one with Saka, I think. You hear if Bruno's going to score a hat-trick every week. He might do. No chance I consider Vardy. Raya pictured with the squad. Seen it on Gunners Reddit. If you've seen it, can you send me a link? Okay, Connor's now tweeted it. Hang on a second. Oh, there's a video. Okay. Oh, I'm watching it now. Where is David Raya? Is that today though? I'm watching a video right now. Trying to see. Oh, there he is. There he is. Yeah. Okay, so he has been spotted. Oh, I'm just gonna go Raya, I think. I got to tweet this. I'm just gonna ask it. Is that definitely today? Mikel Arteta. If Raya starts, honestly, it's just gonna be a round of applause for Mikel Arteta. A round of applause for he's got the whole FPL community on strings. It's amazing. I need a drink. My mouth is dry. I've got 20 more minutes to chat. Is Saka a must? No. Not many players are must-haves. He's good. Okay. Ray is driving the bus to the game. He's going to start, isn't he? He's just going to start. Video worries me more. Video worries me more than no video. He doesn't get weak on his mind games. So you think he's put the video out? This is ridiculous, honestly. What are we doing with our lives? What are we doing with our lives right now? Honestly, I was chatting to Luke earlier this week. And he's like, why have I spent so much time on this? He put the training photos out. But I think even for Arteta, right, it would be weird to say we need a pre-match walk with the squad. But do you know what, Ray? You can't come because I really want people to think I'm not starting you against Leicester. Oh my god. Okay, he said the video is definitely today. I'm just if I go for Raya and he's benched, oh my god, that's going to be. He's not limping, is he? In that video? Imagine though. Imagine. Let me see it. He's not limping. No, he's not limping. Looks like he limps. It doesn't look like he's limping. Stop talking rubbish. I don't need this added stress. Hey Gabby, hey Gabby. Hang on, alright, I'm watching it back now. You got me stressed. No, he's just walking, lads. Come on. Lewis start, I just don't know. Like, if you're going to take a punt on Lewis, now's the time to do it, really. He's not limping. He's not limping. Okay, so Ray is probably going to be in. Should probably take this off. Ray is probably going to be in, I think. It's not a slight limp. Get out of here. If I have 1 million excess, is it worth getting Edison? If you don't need that money, yeah. Should I take a -4 to bring Gabriel? Play Porro. Just play Porro. 2 free transfers to wildcard. Is it worth getting Flecken in as a sub for Raya just in case and downgrade later when I need the funds? Probably not. Lucas just tweeted. He said, "It seems like no City leak so far. Genuinely, this week City defense is very hard to read." For what it's worth, I'd like you to be going Rico and hoping he plays today, but with a view that he should be the front runner in many of the games to come. Thinks it's hard to call this game, but maybe not future ones. Raya just saved an Isak penalty. They have a Champions League game midweek. Someone's just tweeted me. They have a Champions League game midweek. If he's not 100%, this is the game to give him a rest. But he also just didn't play midweek either. This is a freaking nightmare, honestly. Am I tempted to just get Edison? No, not really. If I go Salah, no Haaland with you, appreciate my Moxie jokes. So I know it's a terrible decision, but I'm an Arsenal fan, so I'm being stubborn. Fair, yeah. Raya's XG for limps is 0.82. I'm just going to go for Raya, I think. Okay. Let me just put the team together and I'll come up with another screenshot. Okay, I'm going to put a poll up a second. I'm going to put a poll up. Yeah, we got a poll. We've only got 14 minutes to go, by the way. My stomach's also rumbling, so I'm not eating anything yet today. So I'm hungry, I'm tired, I'm thirsty. I don't know whether Ray is starting or not, and I really want to put him in. It's a bad morning. It's a bad start to the weekend. An injured player can still have a walk. Yeah, but why is he with the squad? That is true, though, right? I mean, Rodri walked off. Thoughts on Mavididi as a good rotation? I just don't think he's nailed enough. Just wouldn't go there, I don't think. I also need to pee too. I'm an adult though. I can probably hold on for 14 minutes. I've got to do the draw for sleeper after this. So I love that. Like some people saying he doesn't look comfortable walking. Does it really? Can you tell from that one video? Honestly, Arteta has got us on absolute strings. That's what someone's replied. He doesn't look comfortable walking, as if Arteta told him to hide any limp as best he can. So this person thinks that Raya has gone to the hotel with the squad for a home match, and Arteta is telling him not to limp. Oh, it's nuts. This game, FPL, is so stupid. Play Porro or Keane? Porro. I don't think Keane will play. Someone said there's another video. Who's tweeted that out? He looks upset. Look how far ahead Porro and Eze is. You're so harsh on Bruno Fernandes. The thing about Eze, okay, Raya is out 1 game maximum. It will be bad, right? There is no point in wildcarding without a goalkeeper. It makes no sense. So it is bad if he misses out. Oh, hang on, I think. Oh, there's an. Oh, there's another video which is a lot more clearer. Okay, I'm looking. He's walking. He's definitely not limping. He looks ready to start. He looks ready to start. Okay, guys, I've tweeted the other video. Okay, 11 minutes. I might have to pee. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, I might go for this. No, wait. Oh, Christ, I've still got Havertz in my team. I'm wondering what the hell's going on there. Why have I got a million? Oh, okay. I was going to say, why have I got a million in the bank? Because I haven't got Raya in. Okay, I'm going to regret Rico Lewis. I'm going to regret it. Okay, I'm going to put current real team or something. Okay, so this is the team I'm currently on. This team. This is the one that I'm currently on. Nothing in the bank. I'm gonna send this to Luke and see what he says. Hopefully he's not watching because that might By the way, with this team you see on the team you see on right there, Porro and Eze are going to drop in price tonight. So like straight away, I'm going to lose 0.2 million on this. From game week 8, Trent, Porro, and Gabriel can be played most weeks. Mikolenko's got good fixtures. Porro is a bad pick. Who else do I go for though? After all this stress, Raya will start and end up getting 1 point. I mean, yeah, it could happen. Bruno, Eze, Lewis versus Diaz, Semenyo, Trent. Probably the second one. Can you recall any other times you've been this stressed about an FPL decision? It's probably happened plenty of times before, to be honest. Maybe not around wildcard. Luke reckons Porro and Eze as well. Luke reckons Porro and Eze. Stop reading this and lock in your team. 21,000 watching. Like the stream. Thank you very much for 23 months. Yeah, give the stream a like if you enjoy it. Hit the subscribe button. Solanke, Jackson, or Havertz? Havertz is probably better next to Solanke. I prefer long term. Doodaloo doo 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 doo. Oh, wait, 0.1 million off. So I'm just hang on. I'm just messing around with another. Oh no, I wouldn't go there, would I? Do 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 do. Oh, I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just going to go for Raya, I think. I can't bother to think about it anymore. If it goes right, it goes wrong. Like, it will suck, but who would you say is best captain? Probably Haaland, Salah, Saka, something like that. Haaland or Saka captain, tempted by Saka versus Leicester. I would go Haaland, but Saka's fine. I wouldn't put any more super chats in now. Okay, this is business end now. 5 minutes to go. You all hate Bruno Fernandes, fair enough. Okay, let's stop messing around with Flecken drafts. Rico starts, according to who? According to who? According to who? Everyone's spamming. Oh, Tony's released it. Haaland and Tony start. Okay, clip this right now. I will definitely regret Rico Lewis. I would definitely regret Rico Lewis. Clip this now. This will become a mistake. I should probably just have Pinnock. I really need to pee. I think I'm going for the Paro draft. I'm just going to go for it, I think. I don't have time to think about it anymore. You can just see it. It doesn't matter. Like I said, I'm not hiding it for any particular reason. Okay, so I think this is what I'm going to do. Am I going Fabianski? I guess I am, yeah. I'm going to sell Luis Diaz. I could just stick with this, to be honest. Instead of Greaves, I could go for Pinnock. I could just do this. And then I could switch Luis Diaz later. But it's 2 transfers. It's 2 transfers. Is it worth it? I just got a feeling about Luis Diaz that I shouldn't go for him. I've just got a feeling I should not have him in my team. Like, he could smash it today. Like, he could go and get a hat-trick. Like, Wolves away from home. It could happen. Is that likely, though? I don't think so. And then Palace away, Chelsea at home, Arsenal. I don't think that good. I don't know. The only leaks is what Tony has tweeted or said that Rico Lewis is starting. There's no leak about Raya other than that he's walking. Raya can walk. I think Luis Diaz is great this week. I'm just not sure I'm massively convinced after this week. I don't need Porro until game week 8. So I could just do Diaz down to Eze, and like Porro's going to drop in price, so is Eze. So I could do Diaz and Pinnock. Or even Pinnock or even Diaz and Lewis. I just don't really want Luis Diaz. Who am I? By the way, if I go for this, am I even playing Lewis this week? I'm probably not. I'm probably just playing Pinnock. Luis Diaz is just pure fear. It's just pure fear. After Wolves, I just don't think he's great for the next 3. Like, Palace is probably okay. Right, let's just do that for now, because I don't want to get in a position where I'm at a deadline and I'm screwed. I probably do play Lewis, don't I? Even though I don't think he's going to get honestly, I think Pinnock could be better than Lewis this week. I'm not that far off Bruno Fernandes. I'm not that far off Bruno Fernandes. Luis Diaz is such a boring pick. Honestly, he's everywhere, and I just don't. I would quite like Porro from Game Week 8 onwards. But the thing is, like, for Porro's fixtures, Game Week 8 is fine. I mean, 9's an away game, 10. I'm not going Bruno. I'm not going Bruno. I've kind of made that decision now. I could go. Oh, fuck. I'm going to start swearing in a minute. I'm not. I don't think I'm going for Diaz. I don't think I'm going for Diaz. I think I'm going to go for Fernandes or Eze, and just massively regret it. Who am I going to play in game week 8, 9, 10? I'm probably just going to play Trent, Gabriel, and Lewis if he keeps starting. Oh, I'm going to have to change this. I kind of want Fernandes. I'm going to... This is going to go so badly wrong. This is going to go so badly wrong. I could just get Eze and Porro. No, I'm going to leave it. Ah, no, I can't. I can't have Bruno in there. Can I? Oh, I don't care. I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it. I've got no time now. I've got no time. How have we ended up like this? I'm going to regret that so much. I'm going to regret that so much. Is Pinnock even better than Mikalenko, by the way? Not sure he is. Okay, we're done. We're done. How'd you have Bruno and no Diaz? I know. I know. I was so close to Eze. Oh, God, I should have gone Eze and Porro. I should have gone Eze and Porro, I think. Let's just hope that these fixtures are really good. This is the problem now. I'm going to have Bruno Fernandes in my team until game week 13. Which is going to be absolute pain. Eze and Porro was the one. Eze and Porro was the one. I get it. I hear ya. Do I think that Fernandes will get more points than Diaz? Probably not. Probably not. Anyway, it's done. Thanks for watching. Give it a like. Hit that subscribe button. I need to... let me see. I need to do a quick random draw for Sleeper. I need to figure out who the names are. I think Porro and Eze was the one, by the way, probably. The only farmer. And then sure. Okay, let me just put on this with no phone window, the wheel. Okay, perfecto. So I'm just going to do the draw. This is for the game week 5 sleeper winner. If you haven't already checked out sleeper, links in the description below, by the way. The only farmer, congratulations. I will be DMing you for a Premier League shirt of your choice. Let me just quickly pull this up. Christ, where am I going with this? Okay, let me just put this back on. Can't believe the Bruno pick. Yeah, me neither, but it happens. Why did I wildcard at all? I know I said that. I didn't probably need it. If you haven't already, by the way, and you want to get involved for a Premier League shirt of your choice, whoever gets the most predictions on my Let's Talk FPL Pick'em League on Sleeper for game week 6, I would definitely pick Man United. Bruno Fernandes is going to score a hat-trick. It's really simple to do, and you can just join the league along with everyone else. There's probably a bunch of people joining right now. There's links in the description below. It's a completely free app, completely free to play. Whoever gets the most predictions this week will win a Premier League shirt of their choice. And if it's a draw like last week, I will do a quick random generator as well on the game week 7 deadline stream. Oh. Honestly, I should just not have wildcarded. I should have just not wildcarded. I shouldn't have wildcarded. I just didn't need it. If I don't want to keep dwelling on this, but if I'd not got Salah, I'd basically be sat here with Rodgers instead of Semenyo, Eze instead of Solanke, and then Henderson instead of Raya, and then someone else instead of Lewis, like Konza or something. So, yeah. Yeah. I would say I can't believe you put Bruno in, but I absolutely can. Oh, I'm going to regret it so much. So much. Yeah. It's going to be regret. I can already see myself now talking myself into doing Gabriel to Porro instead of selling Bruno. And I don't even really need him until game week 8. And I just can't sell him now. I just won't be able to sell him until after game week 13. Like game week 14 is probably going to be the next time I talk myself into selling him. Looking at your team, one wonders where the money went. Well, I'll tell you where it went. It went into Fernandes and Solanke and Trent. But then again, maybe Rico Lewis will be amazing. The good thing is my wild card's over now, so there's just now I just roll transfers hopefully for a few weeks. Yeah, I don't know what else to Another 32 weeks and the season's over and we can all relax. Exactly. The game week 38 and I'll still be waiting for my Bruno Fernandes return. Or Eze will smash him now. Eze will probably smash him instead. Damn, Praz's draft's really nice. Ederson in goal, Havertz. He's absolutely smashing it. When's the Liverpool game today, by the way? It's 5:30, right? I won't be watching that. I will not be watching the Liverpool game at all. I won't be watching it. Well, if Eze and Porro haul, I wasn't going to play Porro anyway this week, so... yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching. Enjoy your weekend. Give it a like. Hit that subscribe button. I'll be back tomorrow, unfortunately. I'll be back tomorrow straight after the Man United Spurs game, which I'll not only be frustrated having watched because Man United are terrible, but I'll also have watched another Bruno Fernandes blank. Yeah, I'm off. Enjoy your weekend. Thanks for watching. Go and check out Sleeper. Links in the description below. And I will... I'll catch you tomorrow. We'll talk about it then.